Abundant Life Building. The Abundant Life Building in Tulsa, Oklahoma, is one of the city's most distinctive structures, originally built in the 1950s to serve as the headquarters for televangelist Oral Roberts. Its unusual design includes diamond-textured walls and a lack of windows, standing 7 stories tall. The building was meant to accommodate the rapidly expanding Oral Roberts Ministries, but the organization relocated to Oral Roberts University in the following decade. By the 1970s, the building saw increasingly less use, and by around 1980, it was fully abandoned. Over the next 4 decades, it deteriorated significantly. However, in recent years, efforts to renovate the structure have begun. Perfecting Church. The Perfecting Church in Detroit, Michigan, led by Grammy-winning gospel singer Marvin Winans, has faced delays for nearly 2 decades. Originally planned as a $60 million project featuring a 4,200-seat auditorium, administrative buildings, parking, and condos, the development has encountered numerous setbacks since construction began in 2005. In 2023, the city of Detroit filed a lawsuit against the church, citing that the site was blighted and non-compliant. However, by June 2023, both parties reached a resolution that may allow construction to continue under specific conditions. The church is now seeking approval for a revised, scaled-back version of the project. Bishop Winans remains hopeful about moving forward, though significant work remains before the facility can open. God's Ark of Safety. In the mid-1970s, a pastor from Western Maryland embarked on an ambitious project to build a life-sized replica of Noah's Ark along Interstate 68. Construction began on Easter of 1976, with the foundation of 3,000 tons of concrete laid for a structure that would be approximately 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet tall. However, as the project was funded by donations and volunteer efforts, progress was slow and inconsistent, stalling for extended periods. A significant development occurred in the late 1990s when a large steel frame was added to a section of the ark, offering a glimpse of what the final structure could look like. Despite this momentum, the project has since stagnated, with little further progress being made. The church remains hopeful that the ark will one day be completed, though no definitive timeline has been established for the construction's end. The unfinished ark continues to stand as a symbol of faith and determination, albeit incomplete. Harvest Life Changers Church. The Harvest Life Changers Church project in Woodbridge, Virginia, has been stalled for nearly a decade, facing numerous challenges since breaking ground in 2013. Initially envisioned as a $50 million, 204,000 square foot megachurch, the project has encountered financial obstacles and construction delays. The church's plans include a 3,000-seat sanctuary, community outreach center, children's area, marketplace, and event spaces. Despite the setbacks, church leaders remain hopeful, though it seems the complex may open in phases instead of all at once. Construction has been slow from the start, with major geotechnical and site preparation work needed. By 2020, most of the exterior walls were completed, but additional hurdles arose when the church's lender went out of business and the COVID-19 pandemic caused further delays. Recently, the church resumed work on windows and doors and is actively seeking new financing to finish the project. Heritage USA. Heritage USA, originally opened in 1978, was a Christian-themed amusement park and resort in Fort Mill, South Carolina, spearheaded by televangelist Jim Bakker. The park was initially very successful, drawing an average of 6 million visitors annually, making it the 3rd most visited amusement park in the U.S., behind only Disney World and Disneyland. However, trouble arose in the mid-1980s when Bakker was arrested, and attendance began to decline. Leadership changed to Jerry Falwell, but further issues followed. The park lost its tax-exempt status, which dealt a significant financial blow, leading to Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The final blow came in 1989 when Hurricane Hugo severely damaged much of the park, leading to its closure. In the years since Heritage USA's closure, there have been various efforts to reimagine and rebuild the site. Some of these initiatives have seen success, while others have not been as fortunate. Much of the old park has been demolished, including the iconic castle, but a few remnants remain. One notable structure is the 30-story abandoned tower, which still stands as a stark reminder of the park's once grand scale. Ground Zero Mosque. The Ground Zero Mosque controversy arose in 2010 over plans to construct an Islamic community center and mosque just a few blocks from the World Trade Center site in Lower Manhattan. Initially named Cordoba House and later Park 51, the 13-story center was intended to include prayer spaces, auditoriums, and recreational facilities. Supporters saw it as a chance to foster interfaith dialogue, while critics argued it was insensitive to build an Islamic center so close to the 9/11 attack site. The debate sparked national discussions on religious freedom and land use near Ground Zero. Due to financial difficulties and ongoing controversy, the original project was abandoned, and the developer instead built a condominium tower, which included a small museum dedicated to Islam. Chicken Church. The Chicken Church, as it's commonly called, is a quirky and symbolic structure nestled in the forests of Magelang, Indonesia. The church, originally intended to resemble a dove, gained its nickname due to its striking resemblance to a giant chicken. Its creator, Daniel Alamshah, claimed to have received a divine message in the 1990s, instructing him to build the church as a place for all people, regardless of faith, to come together in peace. Although construction began in earnest, financial issues caused work to halt around 2000, leaving the church unfinished and vulnerable to the encroaching jungle. For many years, it stood abandoned and deteriorating. However, in a remarkable turn of events, the structure became a tourist attraction, capturing attention with its odd but intriguing design. It has since been revived as a local curiosity, complete with a cafe for visitors, and continues to serve as a symbol of unity and faith for people of all religions. Majesty Building. The Majesty Building, also known as the I-4 eyesore, is an 18-story structure located near Orlando, Florida. The project was initiated by a televangelist who planned to use the building for his independent TV station's offices and studios. Unlike traditional construction projects, funding relied solely on donations from partners and supporters, which created an inconsistent cash flow. As construction dragged on, costs escalated, making it increasingly difficult to finance. This resulted in the building sitting incomplete for nearly a decade. Although construction resumed in 2018 with a projected completion time of 8 to 12 months, almost 6 years later, the building remains unfinished. Palace of the Golden Orb. The Palace of the Golden Orb in Houston, Texas, was the ambitious vision of Q Fong Wong, a leader of a religious organization. The plan involved constructing a grand palace topped with a 4-story golden sphere as its focal point, along with additional buildings for residential and retail use. Work on the project began in 1999 after the purchase of 11 acres in a Houston suburb, and construction progressed steadily. However, in 2001, Wong was deported after being unable to secure permanent residency in the U.S., causing the project to come to an abrupt halt. Since then, little has changed, and the unfinished buildings have begun to deteriorate over the years. The palace still stands as a unique but decaying structure in an otherwise ordinary Houston suburb, representing an unrealized dream. Humbard's Tower. Humbard's Tower, also known as the Cathedral of Tomorrow Tower, was an ambitious project initiated by televangelist Rex Humbard in the early 1970s. Originally envisioned as both a broadcasting tower for his ministry and a tourist attraction, the plan featured a rotating restaurant at the top to draw visitors to Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. Construction began in 1971, and by the time the project was halted, approximately 550 feet of the planned 750-foot tower had been completed. However, financial difficulties soon plagued Humbard's ministry, and combined with his growing focus on expanding his outreach in South America, the project was never finished. The tower sat incomplete for years, becoming a local landmark despite its abandoned state. In 1989, the structure was purchased for just $30,000 and repurposed as a communications tower. Today, though it remains closed to the public, Humbard's Tower still stands as the tallest structure in Summit County, Ohio, drawing attention for its towering height and unfinished legacy. If you enjoyed this video, you won't want to miss the next one where we dive into debunking misconceptions about cults. We'll clear up common myths and uncover the truth behind what cults really are. Be sure to check it out, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update.